Hi, and welcome to episode 7 of Unshakable Her. My name is Fermi, I'm your host, and I am so glad that you are here with me today. Today's episode is called Unshakable Rediscovery. Going on that path of coming back home to who you are, rediscovering who you truly are. What happens if one day you wake up or you woke up and you look at the mirror and you say to yourself, where am I? What happened? How did I get here? What matters to me? Who am I? Who do I want to be? What's going on? Why am I in this confusion? Why am I in this cloud? I want clarity. I want to truly know who I am. I want to truly know where I'm going and who I want to be. How do I do it though? How do I come back home? How do I connect back to who I am? The reason why I'm saying back to who you are is because I think most of us can look back at a time in our lives and see a version of ourselves that we felt was a person that was connected to who they were. Whether it was when we were children, whether it was when we were just going through a good time in life, where we felt settled and we felt secure and we felt safe. If you can take a look at that person, you can get a tiny glimpse of who you truly are. And that can sort of lead you on this path, or sort of like shine that light while you are on this path to help you rediscover yourself. I think most of us can look back at our lives and at the time when we were children, at the time when we were naive and life didn't seem that scary and we didn't know about all the stuff that was going on outside, and we were safe and we had our parents and we had our homes and we had our schools and we were carefree to be who we were. And if we can look back at that time and see who we were and see the characteristics that we played out and the activities that we liked and the version of ourselves who were young and carefree and just completely indulged in their love and positivity and truth in what they liked to do, in what they didn't like to do, then we can have a small glimpse of the I of who we are. And I think today, if you are in this space where you want to discover yourself and you want to come back to yourself because you realize how far gone you are, I need you to realize that it's inside of you. It's like the analogy that I spoke about in our first episode, where I said how life is just such a huge storm that happens around us. And sometimes it can be so chaotic, but just like an actual storm, if you find the center of the storm, there is that space of quiet, of peace. If you do go on this journey of rediscovering who you truly are, you can find that I in the storm of your life. And when you find that I, that me, who I am in the chaos, in the storm, it's silent. The space around you is silent. It's at peace. It is present. It is happy. And the chaos can be happening around, but it's not going to affect the I, because I am completely embodied in who I am. And I think at the same time, it slowly forces like the chaos to fall away when you are completely connected to the I of my storm. Now, what happens? How do I do this? And how did I lose this? Where did I lose that little kid that was one time inside of me? Where did I lose her? I remember one of the first times that I really connected in meditation. I had a very hard time with meditating. Very hard time connecting to it. And then when I finally did truly connect to meditating, one of the first experiences that I had was trying to connect to my inner child. Because in the beginning, when I started therapy, when I started this journey, and my therapist used to turn to me and just tell me, okay, so for me, what do you think about this situation? Or what is it that you actually want? I couldn't even answer her. And it even took me time to realize that the reason why I couldn't answer her was because I didn't even know what I wanted. I didn't even know what I was thinking in my thoughts. I was so far removed from myself. And in one of my first meditations where I was in it, and I actually connected to it, I saw my younger self. I saw her sort of like imagined like a hallway, and I saw her like crouched in the corner on the floor with her hands over her eyes and over her face, burying her face in her legs in the dark. She was just completely scared. Didn't want to even associate with me. She was scared of me. She didn't trust me. She didn't even look at me. Again, this is like all in meditation, but there was no relationship between me and her. And it was a very, very, very frightening moment for me, but it was a real wake-up call, because I realized that that little kid inside of me, that kid inside of me that used to love to play and dance and act and draw and play with all the girls and just have a grand fun time, did not trust the woman that I am today. She did not even want to have anything to do with me today. I mean, today it's different, but like when I looked at her then, and I realized how separated we were from one another. And the question is, how did that happen? What happened? Where did this disconnect happen? And the disconnect happened every single time I told her no. Every single time I didn't pay attention to her. Every single time I squished my own needs to appease someone else. Every single time where I convinced myself out of a situation where I really knew differently, deep, deep, deep inside, but I convinced myself otherwise because other people were telling me to do things, or because I was convinced from whatever other place, but I abandoned her. And every single time I abandoned her, I pushed her away. And every time I pushed her away, I pushed away the I inside of me. Because she, at the end of the day, was the only person that was connected to the I in a stronger way than any other part of who I was ever was. Because when she was born and she was a kid, she didn't have a problem being authentic. She didn't have a problem being who she wanted to be. And every time I said no to her, I said no to me. I said no to the soul inside of me. I said no to the I. And that's why when I turn around today and I try to connect to my eye of the storm, to my silent space, it's nearly impossible because I completely abandoned her. I completely abandoned it, my soul, my GPS system that lives inside of me. And I think it happens to many of us. It's fortunate to those that it doesn't happen to, but life happens, and society happens, and people happen, and other people happen, where people's voices come into our minds and slowly take over our own voices. Or experiences happen to us where they shun us, or they put us on the side, or they make us feel inadequate, slowly pushing that person away. But now that we are at a space where we want to reconnect, where we want to rediscover ourselves, because we look around and we're like, this is so not worth it. Like, what's going on here? Everything is chaos. I need to find the space where it's peaceful. I need to find that eye of the storm. I need to find the I inside of me to be able to create the peace around me. How does it happen? How do I do it? And I think the best way that I can sort of imagine going on to this path, or sort of rediscovering who we are, is literally treating ourselves like a child. Now, if you are a mom or a dad and you have a child and you know what it's like to take care of a child, you know that there are so many things that come into play when taking care of a child. Because part of taking care of a child is taking care of a child materialistically. Part of taking care of a child is taking care of a child physically, emotionally, being there for the kid, supporting the kid in every single kind of way. And most of all, the main thing that really counts is the connection that you create with a kid. And it comes along with everything else. And this is where so much gets unpacked, where so many other things become important. Like, for example, self-love, learning to take care of yourself just like you would take care of a baby. Just like that baby needs to sleep a certain amount of hours every night, you make sure that you take care of your baby and your body is getting the amount of sleep that it needs to have. Your baby needs to be bathed every night, needs to have lotion put on it. Do that to yourself. Even if while you're doing it, you're thinking to yourself, I don't know how this is building the connection. I don't know how this is building the relationship. It is. Because every time you invest into yourself, you are saying yes to yourself. You are letting first that little girl inside of you to begin to start to slowly trust you again. And then you slowly build a relationship with her, and slowly you build a relationship with who you are, completely embodying who you truly are. So even if it seems like not significant and it doesn't seem like something important, it's just like taking care of that baby. Every night you're not bathing that baby, you're abandoning that baby. That baby eventually will resent it. That baby needs to be bathed. Every time you're going to put on something on that baby that is not washed, that is not clean, that is not perfect for the baby, you're not taking care of the baby properly. When you put on a cute outfit on the baby or on the little child, you make that little child's hair nice. The baby feels good. It makes you happy that it makes the baby feel good. And therefore, you literally, it's like you gain brownie points. And it's the small, tiny little things. It's the things that you think are not even important. You know as a parent that these tiny, small things are super important for your child. Even if it's, my kid just started eating and I realized that my kid does not like chicken soup. My kid actually really likes vegetable soup. So you as a parent automatically won't be making them chicken soup. You won't jam that chicken soup down the baby's throat. You will be making vegetable soup. Because you want to make your baby happy. You love that your baby is discovering different tastes, what it likes, right? And at the same time, you want to have a great relationship with your baby. So if you as an adult want to eat a certain dinner, but you're tired and you're not interested and you're not patient and you'd rather take a frozen pizza and pop it into the toaster, but you know that if you're actually going to take the time and make yourself that lovely, delicious dinner, you're really going to enjoy it afterwards. And not only are you really going to enjoy it, you gained more brownie points. You took care of her. You took care of that girl inside of you. Every single time you take care of that kid inside of you, that person inside of you, that body that you are responsible over, you take another step forward towards the relationship with the kid, with the person, with the you, with the I. It starts off with really small things. I think going on this path of rediscovering who you are is this space of, it's hard. It's really hard in the beginning. I found it really hard. I found it tedious. I found it annoying sometimes because I really had to discipline myself. I had to discipline to do things that I just didn't have time for. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I really love to put lotion on my body. I love it. I love how I feel afterwards. I love how I feel the next day. I love how it makes me smell. I love it. Yet, for some sort of reason, I push it off because I decided I don't have those 5 minutes to put it on myself. I don't have the patience to give it to myself. Yet I can give that patience to my tiny little baby who loves it. So I disciplined myself and I said, from now on, every time you're going to take a bath, you are going to put lotion on yourself. No matter what, you will not exit the bathroom until you put lotion on yourself. Let all the kids scream outside the bathroom door. Nothing's going to happen for 5 minutes. And every time I did it, I gained brownie points with myself. It helped me rebuild the relationship with myself. Now that's one kind of way, and that's one example. And I think in this rediscovery, so much gets unpacked because it's the idea of self-love. It's the idea of also self-worth, of knowing my worth. Because when I was a kid, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared to say my mind. I wasn't scared to play the games that I wanted to play. I wasn't scared to be who I was. And it's sort of applying that same self-worth to who I am today. I have a right to be who I want to be, just like you have a right to be. I have a right to talk, just like you have a right to talk. I am a worthy person, just like you're a worthy person. And giving yourself that permission to be who you are with pride, embodying it, being completely proud and confident in who you are. So there's the self-love, there's the self-care, there's the self-worth, and then there's the boundaries. Because it was the lack of boundaries that pushed that little girl far, far, deep, deep inside of you. That it was the lack of boundaries that caused you to say no to the little girl inside of you. So by bringing back the boundaries, by learning to say no to people, or by learning to just respect yourself over other people and putting yourself first, not in a selfish kind of way, but in a way of giving yourself the same importance that you would give someone else, is again another way that helps you reconnect to who you are, helps you be able to come back to the I inside of me. And when you feel even a tiny bit of that connection again, you enter that zone of the eye of the storm, of the peace. And it takes a lot of practice in the beginning. It takes a lot of practice to keep that relationship going. You have to continue investing in the self-care, in the self-love, in the boundaries, in the meditations, in the self-help books, in the therapy, in whatever else that helps you connect to yourself. Because once you enter that space, it's just magical. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's a connection with yourself. It's a connection with the divine. It's a connection with your soul. And it only gets better from there, because you start to stand up on your own 2 feet with your back straight, with who you are radiating out of your face, out of love, not out of feeling better than anybody else, not out of fear of anybody else, but true love, because you truly began to love yourself. You truly created a relationship with yourself. And when you do that, you're able to pour it out onto others. Your peace is able to come pouring out of you. And that's how the chaos around you slowly disperses. It can't exist around you because all you are is just peace. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to our next episode.